Hello, hello. Welcome, everyone, to episode 3 of Midsummer Mysteries, a 6-part novella over here on Table Story with one of the best casts this side of the Pecos.
Hey, realm. Oh,
Yeah.
Coming to help you.
I was like, that's actually better. This side of the Himalaya, actually, because the Earth's a globe, as far as we know. So we're always on this side of something.
As far as we know.
As far as we know, yeah.
As far as we know. Hey, this is our sort of steampunk. Gothic horror, Edwardian, Victorian excitement with really great people. It is a story of a pleasant and normal and not at all strange or creepy sort of weekend in the country. As you do.
As one does.
As one does. Where some people have been invited to the country estate of a Viscount for his Midsummer Festival, where nothing creepy will happen at all, as far as I know. Although, people might have different views about that, and maybe we should ask them. But before we do, I just want to actually note something. We have a new show coming up on Table Story, and that show is called Ungodly, and it is probably nothing you should be worried about. I'm sure nothing scary or creepy will happen on that show. Oh, PB, why are you laughing in a sketchy way?
Oh, because I'm sketch, and that's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's a beautiful shout out. Thank you.
Do you know who's GMing that, PB?
It might be me.
Oh. Yeah. PB.
Yes.
May I ask you a question about Ungodly?
Yeah, absolutely. I may not answer it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Is this a show where everybody bakes like cookies and hangs out together and just chats?
No. Oh, not at all. Not at all. It starts in hell. So. Not at all. No cookies there.
I mean, they have cookies, but they're actually they have muffins, but they're actually blueberry muffins, and they tell you that they're chocolate chip.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
You go into
so you bite into it and it's tart instead of that sweet. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Or
that sounds
they
like
have
hell to me anyway.
Devil's food cake? Is that maybe that's what?
And it's secret. You don't know what the devil's food is. So every time you bite into it, it could be something different.
Oh,
that is an actual toe. What's happening here?
All of your socks are wet?
Yeah.
Oh,
all
no.
the time.
All the time. It's real bad.
Write me down.
So, my friends, if you are not excited for Ungodly, which you should be, I don't know what else to tell you, then you should watch it, because it's going to happen. This is something that actually PB did for me purposefully, and I really appreciate that PB decided to air this on June 6th, which was my mom's birthday. So for my mom's birthday, she's airing a whole new show just for me.
Very dark and scary show.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. You've never met my mom. How do you think I got to be this way? So you should, without a doubt, go and watch that show. Support Table Story and everybody here. But first, I think we should just dive in with, pardon me. Hello there, you in the audience. I hope you're doing well. Today it's a lovely day, and, here we are at episode 3, and I am Trooper SJP, your GM, otherwise known as the Gossip Meister, and I'm just wondering what happened last week. I feel like there are quite a few people who might have something to say about what happened in our show, which is just a lovely tale about people going off to have a lovely midsummer day in the country, and I thought I'd, discuss with the person of most rank here, Lady Tillie. Lady Tillie, I hope you're doing... Are you doing well? You seem somewhat distressed, are you?
Yes, I'm very distressed. And in fact, as the night went on, my level of distress increased. And normally it's the other way around.
Tell me, what happened to you last week? What, in your point of view, what happened? Was it... I heard there was a dinner, and it was quite lovely.
Well, that's debatable. But someone came through a mirror, okay? From another world. and we think that it's Otto's sister, and I went to get her a boot, and then I was sort of kidnapped, mistaken for someone else, and they put me in this dress and did my hair, and then I sat at dinner. They took me to dinner, and I was sitting across from my worst enemy, pretending to be his wife, because everyone seemed to think I was his wife, including him, which was horrifying. It's like, you know, when you might have a nightmare about being naked in front of a group of people. This was my nightmare. Oh yes, well, this one was mine. At dinner with this man as his wife. Anyway, so after that, after that, our new friend got taken from us again by this green hand that I keep seeing. Actually, now that I think about it, the green hand is the same green hand that took Otto in the first place. So anyway, we were going through this weird, windy maze that seemed to not be. It was magical in nature for sure. And then
that seems unlikely, but go on.
Oh, but it's not, and whatever. But it grabbed her into the attic, but then Otto fell down on top of me actually, and that's where I am. I've caught Otto, and I've lost my magical friend, and it's just all very confusing, and I'm still wearing a dress.
Oh, well,
which is uncomfortable for me. I prefer the pants.
Well, I mean, that's not really quite proper. I mean, I suppose it's all right to wear pantaloons if you're going bicycling, but, I mean, proper ladies don't...
Do you know what this is an invitation to?
Oh, it's a bicycle race, isn't it?
Oh, yes. Imagine that. So it's probably fine if I wear those pants.
I suppose. It's... Well, you had a friend who went missing. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask the lovely Nell Harrington, I believe was the name, the novelist, yes?
Yes, the part-time novelist.
The part-time novelist. How was your week?
My week was lovely. Are you looking for details?
Yes.
About the events of my week?
Yes. I mean, you're a novelist. I imagine you tell stories all the time.
I do spin a tale.
Yeah, it's a novelist. So what happened?
Well, the strangest thing happened, which was that I saw the worst human being I've ever known, which is Viscount Bainbridge.
What? I'm sorry. I don't mean to say anything, but how do I put this? Viscount Bainbridge is a humanitarian, a philanthropist, and quite a good hunter, and very friendly. I don't know why you would say he was the worst person I've ever known. I mean, it's strange.
I suppose he's also a part-time novelist, then. Yes, well, it was a bit uncanny, to say the least. And then there was, of course, Buttercup, and that was also strange.
Buttercup?
Yes. Otto's twin, who we thought was dead when
That's
she was
the friend
there.
I mentioned.
Oh. So Otto has a twin who you thought was dead, but, well, turns out not to be?
Yes, I suppose when you say it like that, it is rather scandalous or intriguing.
Well, I'd say so.
Yes.
Well. So what are you doing right now?
Yes, well, I'm with Kelechi.
Oh.
And to be honest, we're, I believe, a little quite lost.
Oh. Interesting. Well, I'm sure you're fine. No one dangerous. Kelechi, how was your week?
It was honestly quite interesting, to say the least. I found that a lot of my calculations for the breakdown of the clockwork were off by a few hours or days, depending on what exactly it was. I'm still trying to figure out where I went wrong with the blood in the well and the undead cows parts. But I'll talk to Samantha about that later. She might have some insight on that. But then, for some reason, I learned for the first time, I feel like I should have known this. It might have slipped my mind, but apparently Tillie's married to the Viscount. So I'm still trying to understand why she never told me that.
Oh. Well, you must be mistaken, because as far as I know, she's not married to the Viscount. The Viscount's married to a Lady Mejbel, who's from Sweden, some sort of noble. No one's seen her, though. Well, as far as we know.
The only Viscount in my life is my dog.
I mean, so I find it somewhat unlikely. I mean, I don't know why would you think that she's married to the Viscount?
Because I clearly saw her at the head of the table, and the Viscount called her his wife. I'm very confused, but I'm pretty sure. I don't see any reason why she would lie about that, or he would lie about that. So I'm assuming that it's true and just didn't come up in conversation. So anyway, we also had to think about Buttercup, which is very fascinating. I tried to get as much as I could about her life in the Feywild, but I couldn't get much out of her before we got whisked away to dinner, where I found out that Tillie was married to the Viscount, by the way. Then Tillie and Buttercup left, and we tried to follow. I used my little contraption I made a few years ago, Hugin, to follow, and we got lost along the way, which was odd because Hugin was definitely seeing everything that they were experiencing, which was like, going through twists and turns, a green hand coming out to grab Buttercup and then throwing Otto down. But then we tried to follow and got lost. We just kept going up flights of stairs over and over again that shouldn't be there. And then we got confronted by some people who seemed to be kind of annoyed that we were there. So I think we might have to get out of this situation. I'm going to leave it mostly to Harrington. Yeah.
Good choice.
Well,
I might help a little bit, but in my way.
I'm sure it'll be fine. Excuse me, Otto.
Hello? Yes?
Hello. How are you?
What day is it?
Why do you ask? It's the day before Midsummer. So, how was your week?
I was in a nice place. A lot of I believe a nice place, and hold on. Has the bicycle races started yet?
No.
I just got the most exciting news, though.
Oh, well, if you've got the exciting news, I suppose we should pull back the curtain and find out what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, let us begin episode 3 of Midsummer Mysteries and find out what Otto might have to say. Our heroes traveled. I have a photograph for you all because I care. Our heroes traveled to the estate of the Viscount Bainbridge, and if our voice in the sky, hello, might give the large view so that the audience might see what the estate looks like, because I know you had that other exciting view. Maybe you don't, but you did at one point.
Oh, wow.
There's this, there we go, a beautiful sort of large estate, which is the Bainbridge estate. Sort of large, it takes up huge acres. There are multiple lakes, and of course you see this gorgeous space with statuary as when you came in. What of course is also very exciting about the estate is that there is a beautiful lake, and in the center of the lake, just floating mysteriously, is a statue of Neptune. I have 2 other photographs, but you don't get to see those right now. You might see those later, just in case. We're going to go back to the non-main view of just right now for the moment, because I want to just let your mysteriousness know. And when you went to dinner, Buttercup, who is a medium, was able to sniff out and see a tether that tied the Viscount Bainbridge, and she followed it along with Tillie, and that rope that smelled of jasmine snaked its way and went through a door which you don't know where that door leads, except that Kelechi says it leads to the underground ballroom, whatever that means, the underwater ballroom. We don't know what that means. But there was a second tether that came out that also went in towards this space, and our Tillie and Buttercup and Kelechi's Hugin little clockwork steam
I actually
work
have it.
friend.
Hold on.
Really? Let me see. is the most adorable ever. Oh, and not at
That's
all
good.
explosive. Not at all explosive.
Not even in the slightest.
No, it's fine. Had another tether, and that tether led them up to the attic. And only by following this tether were they actually able to get to that space. There were smells that seemed important. That this tether that was linked to the Bainbridge and to wherever this thing goes smelled of jasmine. And there was a second tether that had a light smell of jasmine, lightly, but also a tad bit of fir as the tree. But as they were going up towards this attic, the smell of jasmine became quite strong. Kelechi and Nell, who were not within visual seeing them physically, were trying to follow but found themselves in some sort of labyrinth. And as we left off, in this moment, Buttercup was walking up the kind of narrow attic staircase to get into this attic space, and Tillie was falling right behind her, and Buttercup was snatched out of reality, and Otto dropped through nowhere, right on to Tillie, collapsing them both onto the ground. And I would like to pick up right there before we find out what happens to Kelechi and Nell, because I'm sure neither one of these two situations is bad, and I thought we'd go with the clearly most dangerous situation, the one with Tillie and Otto.
Otto?
What the heck? What?
Where were you? What happened?
What?
I saw this green, this very large green hand come out and grab you, and then you were through the mirror and you were gone, and then your
Wait,
sister,
how long
I
have
guess,
I been
was
gone?
here.
How long have I been gone?
A couple of hours, maybe, maximum. Are you okay? How long have you been gone for you?
I think days. It's hard
What?
to tell.
Are you hungry?
No, it's just I don't know. It wasn't. That's not important. Where is she? Where did she?
She got taken by the same green hand that took you.
That green hand. That's not just a normal green hand.
Well, I should think not.
No, it's the Fae. It's the king. And there's so much more to this. There's just so much. Everything is connected. Have the bicycle. No, it's only been a couple of hours.
Yeah, the bicycle's not for 2 days, I think.
The bicycle race is on Midsummer Night.
So is that 3 days from now?
It's tomorrow night.
Oh, tomorrow night. The bicycle race is tomorrow night. We've got time. What do we need to do?
We have to do something. There is something going on. There's a deal. It's just we have to get. I have to explain.
Wait a minute. A deal?
I don't know
kind
all
of
the
a deal?
details. I don't know all the details, but this.
Does it involve the Viscount and his wife?
The Viscount, certainly, but this is very important to the Viking. Well, I mean, they were talking about foxes, and it's just so blurry. Just coming through, that world is just like a dream.
Foxes? Every year they used to do the fox, right? And this year they're not?
That might be a problem, or if something, I don't.
Okay,
But that doesn't matter. But she's alive. She's been alive this whole time.
She's just been somewhere else.
You don't understand. Tillie. I know you notice that I've been always off-putting, and I haven't shared all the facts with you, because.
Oh, hey, that's all right.
You do get into your cups a little bit. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna say.
Oh, hey, that's totally fine. That's completely understandable. And I mean, I get it.
But
I haven't always been somebody that you can open up to, and I'm sorry. But I'm here now. And we'll get Buttercup back.
That's what she called herself?
Yeah. Is that not her name?
Names really don't matter. Who you are really doesn't matter at this point. It's just that she is alive. We can go back.
Yeah, speaking of, we should probably get out of here.
Can I just ask a quick question of Otto? I just have a question.
Yes.
I just, like, for no reason, and you should not at all be worried about what I'm going to ask you right now.
Oh, boy. Oh, Trooper.
Ooh, tell me.
When you were in the Borderlands, you were there for 3 days. I just am curious, did you eat any food while you were there?
Somebody enticed me to eat food. Somebody who was always keeping their eye on me for some reason. And, you know, it would be suspicious if I didn't eat, you know, especially in front of the Fey King. While they, you know. So there was some food and drink I partaked in.
So you both ate and drank food in the Borderlands. I'm just gonna take note of that, but for no reason. It's fine.
He lied. He's a liar. He's lying right now.
Just gonna take notes on that. I'm just gonna write down. Let me see. Otto. Just
That's
short.
a very big pen.
Just write down Doom. It's cool. So, as you are in a heap at the bottom of this stairwell with the opening to the attic right above you, until you say you should go, and there in the corner is this little mechanical beetle watching what is happening, listening. Where do you go?
I look around. You said I could see Kelechi but
They are not within visual distance. All you've got is his bug.
okay.
Do I see the beetle as
You
well?
do. There's this little,
What?
like, little steam clunk mechanical beetle that's like.
What the heck is that?
It has a name, but it's Kelechi's. He makes these wonderful, amazing, sometimes very deadly and dangerous creations, but this one so far hasn't been deadly. It's been quite helpful. Kelechi, can you hear us?
Kelechi can't talk to you right now.
Oh, okay. Well, normally he can speak through this thing. Kelechi! And I just tap it. Is it working?
Let's find out what's happening over there with Kelechi and Nell. I feel like this is just the perfect time to find out how they're doing, because I don't know, they might be doing well. You two, my friends, were trying to follow Nell and Tillie and Buttercup, but you could not see them physically. You were just following through the beetle, trying to follow their path, but you found yourself going up 7 or 8 flights of stairs, but this estate does not have that many floors, making all of these turns, and you got yourself turned around, and it's just all these floors of bedrooms after bedrooms after bedrooms, over and over, all looking the same. And you kept trying to get closer, but you didn't know if you were getting there or not, until you hear, if I remember correctly, a voice behind you, and you heard, "Well, well, well, what are we doing here?" And you had both turned to see 2 large men who looked to be sort of pure-blood humans, in suits, sort of the tuxedos of people who are servants, but their physique doesn't really look very butlery. Looks a lot more lift heavy things, have my nose broken a couple of times, and am a little bit, let's say, aggro. That sort of a vibe, as it were. And you see these 2 men, you know, "All right, what are you doing here on this floor? There are no visitors. allowed.
Oh, we just got turned around. We were looking for our friends who went down one hallway, and it appears we've gone down another. Could you guide us back to the dining room?
They look at you both. Bunch of well, you look all right, miss, but you look like some sort of unnatural creature.
I'm a Nephilim, if that's what you're asking.
I'd watch your tone, sir.
What is that? They look at the angry stitches around your eyes and these distressing predator eyes that you have that look like something bestial. Ooh.
If you'd be so kind, could you guide us back to the dining room?
You shouldn't be here at all. Not on this floor. And the two of them kind of look a little unnerved, right, by all of this sort of unnatural, inhuman sort of situation. And one of them just sort of like takes a knife out and just sort of twirls it, clearly in a form of nervousness, right? Like this feels now dangerous to them, and one of them has just sort of taken a knife out and is playing with it, not threatening you with it, but clearly wanting to be ready in case, who knows what people like you do. I don't know, throw fireballs, who knows what. It's very unclear to them.
It was an honest mistake, sir, once again. Would you be so kind as to tell us how to get back to the dining room, and we'll be out of your hair?
I'm gonna need, that is clearly some sort of social move on your part. Why don't you and why don't all of us, why don't we?
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna just throw you some cards. I'm gonna deal you a couple of cards.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna deal 4 cards because we're gonna go into just a little bit of a conflict. I'm gonna give you some cards. Just like a little social conflict, just for fun. And we're gonna see how we go because they are not liking what they're seeing. You each get 4 cards. I'm dealing you 4. I will be getting 6 to present them. Please discard your lowest card. You can just dump it. Nobody needs to see it. Unless you have the doom, in which case you cannot discard the doom because you know how doom is. That is.
How do I discard it from
that's
here?
the question.
Drag it to the playmat and then you can click it into
And then just discard it there. Okay.
Yeah. So these 2 fellows, one of whom has pulled a knife and is playing with it, they're looking worried, a little uneasy with the presence of such obviously unnatural creatures in a floor that doesn't exist, where they are meant to be guarding. I believe you are taking the initiative, Nell. Discard one of your cards to try to convince them. I imagine you are using... Oh, gosh. I'm curious as to sort of pondering. Are you trying to are you doing presence plus temptation if you're trying to emotionally manipulate them? Are you presence plus command if you're trying to intimidate them? Presence parlay if you're negotiating in a pleasant sort of a way? How do you want to sort of sway these people?
I think I'd like to emotionally manipulate them.
I see. Please,
Yes.
First off, I'm surprised. I'm shocked that you would do things like that with these upstanding young gentlemen. But tell me how you're about to do that. Give it to me. as they are looking at you with obvious distrust and an impending sense of violence.
You see, we're close friends of the lady of the house. We were invited personally here. I'm sure she would be very unhappy to hear if anything were unfortunate to happen to us in her home when she invited us so kindly. And now we could go. You could just tell us where to go back to the dining room, and we'd be happy to be on our way, and we'll say nothing of this ever happened. But it would be very unwise if you were to continue this discussion with us.
With temptation, you want to offer them something.
You see, because we're such close friends with the lady of the house, we could ensure that the pay for your services is a little bit higher than normal, or previously agreed upon.
They look at each other. Please draw a card. Their social defense is a 5.
Just a question. I get to
Yes,
draw
please.
whichever card is in my hand. I get to choose which card?
No, that's just
No,
your
it's
initiative.
random.
So for your initiative, you just want to throw out,
Right.
each card represents a move you can make.
Right.
So just take one of those cards, I would say probably your lowest one, and just throw it out to sort of get rid of it. But draw a card from the deck. And to draw a card from the deck, if you hover over the deck, one card will sort of pop out, and then you can just take that and drag it to the green spot.
There we are.
That 4, did you say?
Yes.
Was that okay? So
That's a 4.
yeah. So what is that presence plus guile plus 4? What is
So my
that?
presence is 3, and my temptation is 3, so it's 6.
Plus a
Plus 4.
that's a 10. That's a lot. How do you feel about succeeding by 5? How does that make you feel?
Incredibly delicious.
That is, how do you say, worrisome for them, not so much for you. If you like, because you succeeded, that was a remarkable success, or remarkable, I think. It was excellent. It was a remarkable
You're gonna make
success.
me blush.
You may, you remove one of their guard. They have their guard up at you because they don't trust you. And in this game, by the way, audience, in this game, before you can do real damage to anyone, you have to sort of lower someone's guard. And they have guard up right now. They have 1. But because you succeeded by as much as you did, you may place a condition upon them temporarily. And there's a bunch of these standard conditions. I have a little handout for you so you can look and ponder it, what you would like to put on them. As they sort of look at you and think about this offer of extra money, and they seem distrustful of you, but intrigued by the idea of extra money. As you can tell, their attitude towards you gets a little bit less hostile. They were clearly guarded towards you, but now they are a bit indifferent. They are interested. And when you decide which condition you'd like to put on them, just let me know.
Yes, I think outmaneuvered.
I see. Outmaneuvered. Why don't you read out loud what outmaneuvered means so that the audience can know?
Absolutely. So outmaneuvered is a character can be outmaneuvered by a deft conversationalist in a ballroom or by a cunning warrior on a battlefield. This represents being manipulated into a disadvantageous position. All opponents receive a non-cumulative +1 to any trait tests made against an outmaneuvered target.
So they sort of sit there and they're clearly a little bit less likely to start stabbing immediately, but they're not certain. I will ask, anybody here in your hand, where you have your initiative cards, anyone at a 5? And
Yes.
Merkles, get rid of one of your cards, if you don't
Okay.
mind.
Yes. Yes, I do.
Yes. You have a 5 in your
I do,
initiative.
yes.
Then please continue. Get rid of that 5, and you may continue, because they don't have any 5s.
Do I have to get rid of it? I can't
You do.
play it or use
Nope.
it against them? No?
You use it
Shame.
to press your advantage, as
okay.
they're looking like, we don't know, extra money. I don't know about that. We don't work for the lady.
Oh. That's very interesting. I'm sorry. Who do you work for? I'm sure that I
Viscount.
could... Oh. Well, I also know the Viscount, so I can put in a good word with the Viscount if you like. I mean, why do you think I'm at this estate as a visitor? Why do you think we're here, dressed up the way that we are? We're obviously lords and ladies of this event, and...
Your lords and ladies.
Yes. Can't you tell?
Yeah. We can tell. We know class when we see it. Right? The other guy's like, yeah. And one of them is like slightly, is like just his little bit of stubble, and they're wearing these tuxedos, right? They look like they're people who are trained. Well, their clothes say that they're people who are trained in class and manners. That's what their clothes say. And I'm like, yeah, we know about lords and ladies and all that.
I can tell you do.
So what are you the lord and lady of?
Morocco.
Oh yeah? You both? Morocco?
Yes. Can't you see that we're a couple?
Well, I mean, you're
Is
both.
that not obvious? Darling! They didn't figure it out.
Whoa. I think I need a presence and deceit from you right now.
Yeah.
This feels to me like a bunch of presence deceit. If you would like, Kelechi, you may aid and give her a +1 by turning in one of your cards. And
any of
explaining
them?
how great any of them. If you're aiding, you can get rid of any of them you want. But explaining how you are.
I want
aiding
to
with
aid.
this.
I really do want to aid, but I don't know if Kelechi even knows what's going on at the moment. Like, like he's very confused
buy
right now. So
that.
I don't think it makes sense for him to aid right now.
Please do. So they're like, well, what do you, Morocco? That's sat in like Lancashire or something.
Just outside, yes.
Well, yeah, we know about Morocco. Yeah.
I can tell, yes. Very well spoken, you two.
Thanks.
Please, I really do hate to end this conversation early, but as you well know, we are partway through dinner, and it would be very unbecoming of the two of us, the Lord and Lady of Morocco outside of Lancashire, to be late even further than we are.
Yeah. Draw that card to see how your deceit goes. Their social defense, is a 5.
I'm so scared. Oh no.
Oh no!
Okay, so wait. When you say deceit, though, what point is deceit? I don't have a deceit on my. Is there like a stat?
It's guile.
Oh.
Pardon
Well,
me.
in that case, I have a
Guile.
6.
Oh, okay. So that's a 2.
Yeah.
Which is, they're like, yeah, we're sure that you are the Lord and Lady of Morocco, but, sorry, we don't, still not allowed in this area, so, we're gonna have to, I think, hold you a little bit longer until we could get the Lord to come back here. I think that's what we're gonna have to do.
You want to interrupt him during his dinner to hold us, the Lord and Lady of Morocco, when we could just be there in 5 minutes. We were merely lost. Good lads. Gentlemen, please.
They're sort of frustrated with this moment. 5s? 4s.
I have a 4.
Kelechi, it is you. You can see that they are. They have orders, and their orders are to clearly accost anyone in this area of the home, which is an impossible area, but she's clearly confusing them and making them doubt whether or not they should or not, but they're not convinced at this moment. Okay. And they are waffling, right? They're very much like, which way should they go? It's unclear.
I have a question. If I wanted to threaten them,
yes,
what would be the skill for that?
That would be presence and command.
Command. Do I have that? I probably don't, honestly. No, I don't. So I'm not going to go for that.
But it would be... Now, I will note, because in this game, Clockwork Dominion, there are a lot of different ways to put things together. Presence is your force of personality, but what skill do you use depends on how you're doing it. Normally, command is what you use when you want to throw your weight around. Now, if, however, you wanted to threaten them with your machinery...
Okay. Sorry.
I hear you. Then you would be using your engineering, because you're going to be sort of talking a good mechanical game to distress them.
It's okay. I think at some point he's kind of like... I think he's still very confused about this whole Morocco thing. Like, Morocco, excuse me, do you know who I am, correct?
The Lord of Morocco, outside of Lancashire.
He kind of looks at Nell and then back. I don't know, but my name is Kelechi Abara. I worked with the army. I was recently dishonorably discharged. I would like to leave, so if you don't let me, you might find out why I was dishonorably discharged.
Well, we're not afraid of nobody. We're not afraid of some Ponzi lord of Morocco who's been discharged from the military for not knowing to do what. You, listen here, you lord, what's-his-face, what's-its. I know about you, lord. You're in the military, you don't do nothing at all but sitting around and just ordering around like regular Joes like us. I'll tell you what, we know a thing or two about getting a big punch-up. You can't threaten us. What do you do?
I don't fight. I'm an inventor. I don't really do that kind of stuff. But the whole point of inventing is to create things that can do things that you can't, and I have things that can fight.
Oh yeah? Like what? You got you're gonna use your little glasses on us, your goggles or whatnot?
That's so what happens afterwards doesn't get in my eyes.
What do you mean? What happens afterwards? And the other one pulls out his knife. Like, they've got these knives, and they're like, yeah, like, what are you? You don't look, you look like a Nephilim, so that's a little scary. But, like, they don't see anything dangerous on you. They're like, what?
He's gonna reach into his pocket and pull out another little brass board, almost identical to the one that he put out earlier that turned into a little beetle named Hugin. This is actually one of the reasons why I got dishonorably discharged.
What's that?
Do you want to find out?
I'm not afraid.
He's gonna hold it out. I'm just gonna hold it out, just like that. Do you want to find out?
What's it do?
There's only one way to find out.
Roll your presence and engineering.
Okay. My presence is a 3. My engineering is a 3 as well. So there's 6 total. And pull a card. Oh,
okay. -3. So that is a 3. You get that +1 for outmaneuvered, but that does not beat their 5. And they look at this thing. Discard one of your cards. Discard your 4. They look at this small brass ball that doesn't look like anything to them, and they're like, "What's that?" Yeah, we're not afraid of no. What is that? Like some sort of like billiards ball or something. We're not stupid. We're not gonna be frightened by some sort of like, what is that? Some sort of like nothing. Psst, who do you think we are? We've been around the block. We may never been to Lancashire, nothing, been to Morocco, the Duchy of wherever you're from. But we know a thing or two, and we're not gonna be afraid of that. Whatever that is. Psst. So, I'm afraid you're gonna have to come with us. We're gonna take you to the cooling room for a bit. I don't think you're gonna want to resist.
You're really not. You're really not going to do that.
I'm gonna ask 4s, 3s, 2s, 1s. They've got ones. They've got ones. They've got a 1. I'm gonna toss out one of my 1s, and this fellow is going to step forward and put his hands on Kelechi.
I think I have a thing before you jump in.
Please do. I'm ready.
I think I have a thing. Okay. So, oh my goodness. So one of my assets is that I am ever ready.
Yes.
And I think that means that I get to take initiative on things before other people do.
I believe that is the case. Let me. I believe that is the case. Ever ready. Ever ready. I believe it does. How do you spell that? I don't even know how you spell that.
Okay.
156.
You have nerves of steel and lightning quick reflexes. The first time you take a turn in a physical conflict, you may choose to replace your move with a maneuver even if you're reacting. I don't know if that's helpful at all, actually.
Not yet. But
No.
but I will say this.
Absolutely
But I will
not.
say this. Here's a thing you know. This is they're about to go, because this is an interesting about conflicts in this game. They're about to go because they're next, but you can always spend 2 of your cards to go before they do. You can always interrupt someone by spending 2 of your initiative cards.
Yeah. I only have 1 initiative left.
Which means it would be the only person who could do that, could interrupt and get in there before they do something, would be Drac.
Okay.
You know,
Would you like to? One of them is about ready to reach out to
I'm gonna do it. You know what could go wrong? You know, what could go wrong?
Get rid of both of your cards. And what would you like to do as one of them is about ready to move in and grab you?
So as he reaches out to grab me, I want to just literally quickly place the brass thing in his hand and activate it.
Please do draw to activate your machine.
Ooh. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. To activate my machine, I use Grace and Engineering.
you do. Describe it.
So that's a 9.
Yes.
Which is perfect.
It's perfect. It doesn't explode. Describe what happens as these 2 big bruisers clearly think that this little brass thing is ridiculous, and you 2 are no threat to them whatsoever.
So, like, as he's reaching out, I think I place it literally on the back of his hand, because even though the one I have here is massive, Kelechi's one is considerably smaller, and so just lands on the back of his hand, and he uses the same controller that he used for Hugin, and basically flips a switch. So in Tillie, we'll actually see that Hugin kind of powers down, as this one, Moonin, powers up, and immediately goes for a bite on the back of his hand.
That's very exciting. Why don't you, if you don't mind, pull Grace plus Engineering to see how that bite goes? Okay. As this red-eyed mechanical beetle whirs to life, and
oh yes.
Oh my
gosh.
My.
And yeah, this is perfect. Okay, so I'm going to describe what Moonin is.
Yeah, please do. I'm going to just note that they have a physical defense of 6. What is your total that you got?
10.
You pulled a 10, so you beat by 4, which is very, very good indeed. Please.
Which is perfect.
Because that is a remarkable success.
So it whirs to life and bites down into the back of this person's hand, and then immediately jumps off. And Kelechi kind of just stares for a moment, and then I'm gonna. I think it's okay. So
Add a condition as well if you like.
oh, I know, because I have this thing is poisonous.
Yeah,
And
it's poison.
the
It's
poison
interesting.
is complexity +5 plus the weapon potency, which is 3, so it's a total of 8 against their vigor. I think it is.
Yep. I don't want to. I don't want to say anything, but what kind of person poisons people? That's not a very nice thing. Oh, interesting. Go on.
And the condition I'm going to put on them is the specific poison I have, which is burning. And I've already talked to Chief about this.
Yes.
Their skin feels like it's on fire now,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
persistent.
Yeah. And what does that do to them as this? What color is your poison, by the way?
I think it's like oily black. It looks like oil. You'd think it's just normal oil.
And as these little fangs puncture this very large, beefy, ruddy fellow's skin, you can see black just creeping up his veins as it spreads across his hand. And he looks at his hand in horror as he just starts flushing red and then black. And he goes, what is that? What's that? What is that? He says, he starts like trying to like bat his skin and like brush off something. You can't see anything but the veins creeping up his neck and creeping into his eyes as the poison that you created starts burrowing itself into his body.
Like I said, I'm not really much of a fighter, so I create things to do that for me. Could we go now?
Could I get a presence engineering from you, if you don't mind?
Okay.
If you don't mind.
Oh, that's one. So presence engineering. Presence is a 3, engineering is a 3 as well, so that's a 5 total.
+1 for the outmaneuvered, that's a 6.
Plus 6.
Which is enough, and they move, both of them, one step closer to piecing out of here. They are at agreeable. They need one other little push as they start sort of, one of them starts backing up, the one who is burning up from the insides of his body. His organs are beginning to fail, and blood starts pouring out of his nose and out of his ears and out of his eyes as this poison that you have injected into his body starts corroding everything that he is, and he starts choking, takes a wound. And both of them, as these wounds start hitting them, start to freak out a little bit, and you can tell they're at that moment of fight or flight.
You should probably tend to him.
I believe that will be me. The fellow who's not on fire is going to swing to stab at you because he is freaking out, right? He doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know how to deal with this situation. And he, in a bit of a blind panic, swipes this knife at you, even though you are the Lord of Morocco, which is right outside of Lancashire, clearly. And he is assaulting a lord, but a lord who is maybe a demon and who also just did something to his friend that he doesn't understand, something very sinister. And he is going to swing his knife at you, and I pull the fate card.
What? Ah, God.
Oh my god.
This is a deck of 100 cards, and there's only one fate card and only one doom card. This is the fate card, which is good for me, not good for you. What is your physical defense?
What? How do you calculate that?
It should be your grace plus athletics.
Athletics 4.
So, this fellow, do you have any guard?
God, what is that? I don't know what it is.
What is your focus?
My focus is 2.
So you have 1 guard.
Oh, okay.
Which means that he cannot wound you this turn.
Oh, wait, I also have armor. My my clothing is alchemically enhanced, so I have a +1 armor.
Lose 1 of your guard. You're going to lose your guard for this moment.
Okay.
But what he's going to do is come at you with this knife, pop you on the head, just like with the hilt of this dagger, and daze you.
Oh, okay.
And yes, please, Nell.
Can I jump into the fray now?
Yes, you may. Yes, you may, because it is now a physical.
Okay, cool.
And I'm going to note that Kelechi has no more cards and can take no more actions
Okay,
for this round.
I see. Well, I have 1 card.
You can, indeed. They are, both of them are at this point in time clearly at the verge of panic. Like, that blow was an instinctive blow. It was wild. It has dazed Kelechi, who is going to be in trouble when the next round of fighting happens. But you know that as this one fellow is basically cooking on the inside and the other fellow's freaking out, that they are this close to running.
Okay. I take off my skirt. So I like unwrap my skirt and I'm wearing some tight trousers underneath. And I reveal my tail.
Describe it.
It's long, like it's not, it's kind of Jaguar-esque, but it's still prehensile. So it's got a lot of motion in it, and it's very strong. Yeah, and it just like kind of whips out. And I'm going to try and use it to grab him by the throat and yank him away from Kelechi.
That will be grace and melee or fisticuffs.
Okay, I'm gonna go with melee and grace.
Your tail, this prehensile jaguar tail that has been grafted onto your body, and you can probably, even though it's been many years, still feel pain a little bit. I mean, you have to take antibiotics for the rest of your life.
I do, yeah.
Someone did something to you, and I would like it if you don't mind, I'm gonna reshuffle for you, because I want you to be able to get that fate card just in case you get it. I care about you. I want to be fair in all ways.
Can you imagine?
Please draw.
Ah.
What do you have? What is your total?
So my grace is 3, my melee is 1, so it's a 4, so 5 total.
A 5. Because he's outmaneuvered, because you outmaneuvered him earlier, if you hadn't have done that, would be a little bit different, but you beat the one fellow just enough, and I'm going to say this, his guard is already down because he's already been freaked out. You wrap your tail around his neck. I would like you, if you would, to draw a card and tell me, well, would you like to daze him as you start squeezing his neck
Yes.
with your tail.
Yeah.
I will take that dazed. I'm going to ask you another question because his guard is down and you successfully hit him. Mm-hmm. Would you like to wound him?
Can I ask you a question?
Of course.
Do I have a good understanding as to whether or not this was enough?
If you wound him, yes.
If I wound him, it will be enough.
Because here's the thing, when people get wounded in this game, their morale drops. And if their morale drops enough, they will run. This is not a game like other games where people will stay in a fight until they die. If you set them on fire from the inside and you freak them out and you threaten them and then you start choking them out, people leave. They run.
Okay. I would like to pull him close to my face with my tail. Like, my tail is around his neck, so I'm dragging his body close to my face.
Yep.
And I'm going to look him in the eyes with my eyes. Run.
And you can feel something pop as your tail is wrapped around his neck. You have injured him somehow. You're not quite certain what exactly happened. It might have been his jaw dislocating, perhaps, as he starts seeing stars. And as you say run, there's a moment where he doesn't understand what you're saying because he is in so much pain as he's coughing. And his friend, who has dropped to the ground and is rolling on the ground trying to get whatever poison is seeping into his soul off. And he can't. And this man raises up to his knees and he goes and he just reaches out to his friend and pulls on his friend's tuxedo jacket, pulls and tugs and tugs. And his friend, who's stuck in your tail, who starts, his eyes are bulging and he can't breathe. And he's trying to get Do you let him go?
I let him go, yeah.
You let him go, you release this unhuman tail from his neck, and he drops to the ground, and the minute he does, he reaches out to his friend, grabs his friend, and starts dragging him down the hallway, and they run. Well, that's generous. Running is a generous description. It's more like they stumble and make their way in some way down this hallway, and all you can hear is the gurgling of the man with the black veins on his face as he makes incoherent sounds. And the other fellow, who just had some kind of inhuman woman just grab him as if he were nothing, pulls, and they make their way down this hallway in a panic and in fear.
I'm gonna turn to Kelechi. That was a bit excessive, you know? I really feel like I had that under control, and that was a bit excessive. Do you not think so? I'm sorry, you're speaking very quietly. I can't hear you.
What was excessive?
I mean, did you...
And your little beetle flies up and lands on your shoulder.
That's horrifying, that is. That's horrifying. That's a nightmare.
His name
You made that?
His name is Moonin.
Moonin, you're scary. You're terrifying me. Also, I never asked you, but do I know you from somewhere? You seem very familiar to me now.
I don't know. I will be honest, your eyes and your tail do seem familiar, but I couldn't tell you, honestly.
Nell,
Right.
Nell.
Yeah.
Nell. You said he looked familiar. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Where were you? Where were you when you were 12, 13? How old were you?
Yeah, I was about 12 or 13. I was about 13, yeah. Close to my 13th birthday.
Where were you?
I think I was being brought to... Well, you see, a man came to me to offer me a deal. The streets are very dangerous for a 13-year-old girl, and I didn't have anywhere to go, and I didn't want to end up, well...
The way you end up when you're poor in the east side of London in 1896.
Yes. Well, he offered me an out, an alternative. It seemed interesting, but of course I didn't fully understand, and
You were young.
they didn't fully tell me.
What did they offer you?
Agency. Freedom.
Freedom. You were 13?
Yes,
They took you away.
they did. But I said yes, I guess.
I guess. Did you, I'm sorry, when you said yes to this deal they made, did you have food at the time?
No, but they had some.
Did you have a place to sleep that wasn't a hole dug in the ground?
No.
But they offered you somewhere to stay, right?
They said it would be warm and dry.
And when you went to where they took you, what do you remember?
The smell. It was rancid. It smelled worse than the streets, and there's shit on the streets.
Formaldehyde?
I don't know what it is. Smells like hell, probably.
Scalpels?
They didn't hurt as much. I think they were very sharp.
The screaming of animals?
The hands hurt most. I take a blade over a hand any day.
The doctors? Military doctors?
They seemed like it, but I'd never seen the military before.
They were doing experiments on you.
I guess I did say yes.
I guess you said yes. There were so many doctors who were working in the space where you were at. But you said that you thought that you saw Kelechi. You thought that you saw him. You recognized him. Where did you see him?
Sometimes they would let us out. Take us out for air.
Doesn't sound like freedom.
What is freedom? I ask you.
The one that you thought was Kelechi, where did you see him? Can you remember?
It was daylight. Outside. A courtyard? Maybe? I think there was a fountain.
Was it in a window?
It might have been.
Now that you think about it, you do recall, you were so young, you do recall seeing a man in uniform, a scientist, that looked a lot like Kelechi. He wasn't one of yours, the ones who cut into your body, cut into the bodies of animals. Decided it'd be fun to see what happened if you mix the two. And then test to see the capabilities, the limitations, how far one could go. He wasn't in those labs where you were a lab rat in a cage, manacled so you couldn't escape. But he was in the building. You saw him once. Maybe once. And that memory of yours, of maybe seeing Kelechi in uniform in the facility. He was... Wait. Do you remember? I think he was talking to someone, wasn't he? He was talking...
Was he talking to?
Viscount Bainbridge.
It was Viscount Bainbridge.
That's who he's talking to. Yeah. And your memory, searching your memories to remember if you'd seen him before, that reverie is broken as the church bells chime. 6:30. And you see him. And up in the attic, or right below the attic, Tillie and Otto. Tillie taps on Hugin. Oh, I'm switching right now because that's the best spot to switch. Oh, yeah. And the little bug powers down.
Oh. Well, I mean, it normally works. Normally he speaks through it. I promise it's very impressive. Oh, I can't hear you. Sorry.
Let me try something. I've worked with some things before, but I only just as decorative pieces, and I go up.
Are you sure? Be very careful because sometimes it explodes. I mean, like.
Could I get reason engineering from you?
I do that thing where it's like, oh no, don't touch that, and as soon as he smacks it, I'm just like, oh, like
Reason
ready for it to explode.
And engineering. So
Yes,
I got a 2 for reason and 0 for engineering.
So draw a card, and let's see how that goes.
Okay, let's just draw.
Fake card.
What do we get? Hold on.
Put it on that mat.
There you go. Oh wait, did it disappear?
Oh,
I can't see it.
Yeah, you just put it on the. Yes. Okay. Huh. So I'm gonna just out of character tell you something. If you did not draw well, that would have exploded on you. just so you know, because no, I don't know if you know this, but sometimes the things that Kelechi makes are unstable or dangerous or perhaps a little sinister. So as you tap this cute little needle, there's like a little ticking sound, and it goes back down. Your assessment of this, you're an investor, you know things here or there. Your assessment is that this thing seems to have been, seems to be remotely controlled, and it seems to have been turned off. Perhaps because the battery can only handle one thing or another, but it seems to you, or maybe Kelechi's in trouble, you don't know. But whatever happened, this thing was once alive and is now powered down. It's not going anywhere by itself anytime soon.
Maybe we should find the others. This seems to not have any charge left in it.
Thank goodness, because I have seen him blow himself up before, and it is not fun. It's not a great time. You come into the kitchen and you're like, hey, Kelechi, how you doing? And there he is on the floor. It's not great. So that could have gone very poorly for us. All right. Well, I guess we, how the hell did we get out of here? Hello?
I mean, I mean, where were you headed before this, in any case?
I was following your sister. I don't know. She said she could see something. God, what did she say? It was like thread or a cord. Yes. Like a cord that connected from the Viscount and it led down to the ballroom, I think. But we didn't go there. She saw another one coming from the ballroom going in a different direction. And so we started to follow that.
Could I use, I know I don't have any talents other ways, but could I use my guile and intuition to kind of just like kind of pick up on what my
focus
sister was
intuition.
Saying? Focus intuition.
Can I help her? Okay.
All right. Hold on, my screen just turned off, so I can't draw a card for a second.
No.
There you go. There you go. It works. It works. It's fine. It's fine. So let's go ahead and draw a card.
Please do. And tell me what that is.
So I have 2 in focus and a 2 in intuition, but I drawed a -4, so it's a net 0, unfortunately.
And
If I assist, am I able to? Okay, how would I do that?
I would like you to also draw your focus and intuition or mysteries.
Okay. Focus is 2, intuition is 3. Okay. So we've got a 5. Let me go ahead and draw.
Also, by the way, if any of you have used any of your purpose, like your ether, or if you have you all can get a point of ether or purpose back if you are low. Just so you know.
So 2.
Okay.
I could always use one of my ethers to re-roll this.
You could use an ether to redraw.
I'm gonna go ahead and do it for...
Seems like it's an important thing to... I agree with that. Yep. And so maybe the way I'm helping him is the way that I'm describing it, and...
Look at that.
Please
That's
describe
also
it.
+4 now, so I redrew.
That is very
Nice.
good. Describe it. Please, Tillie.
Okay.
That's very good.
Well, yeah, I forget what she called it. Maybe tether, but like a cord, and it was, I think gold. Did she say that, or am I just imagining?
What did it smell like?
Jasmine? Am I?
There was another
Jasmine.
smell too. There was another smell too that she mentioned.
A forest, I think. I can't.
Otto.
Otto, I can't recall. I can't recall if she's telling me this or if I'm smelling it or if I smelled it when I was following it with her. I'm
Otto.
unreliable. I'm an unreliable narrator in this moment.
You don't... The smell of jasmine doesn't mean anything to you. But the smell of fir, forest, it does. You smelled that when you were away.
Oh.
When you were away. Fir was the smell of the king of the Fae. It was his smell.
Oh. Do I smell that right now? Can I just...
Smell. Concentrate. No. You don't smell fur right now. Wait. There is a faint whiff of fur inside of a house. You can't... But that's not what you smell. You smell... jasmine?
Oh.
What is it?
You said jasmine's the one you smelled earlier, right? I kind of smell it. It's
I don't
very
know.
faint.
I don't know if I smelled it or if she smelled it and she told me she smelled it and now I'm imagining smelling it. I just have this really I have a tightness in my chest, and I'm actually quite scared that I'm not remembering it correctly. Do you know what I mean? Like, it feels like a dream.
Otto, she smells of jasmine.
Excuse me, Tillie, I'll lean in really close and... Do you know that you smell? This smell of jasmine is coming from you.
Oh, thank God. I thought you were going to say I smell of something horrible,
Oh, no.
like clams or something. Okay.
Otto, now that you think about it, yeah, she does smell of jasmine, but something else smells of jasmine around here. Something smells of jasmine much more powerfully. Something up there in the attic.
Wait.
So, I mean, I guess that's better than...
Wait.
What?
I think...
Oh, it's not me.
No.
It's not me.
I mean, it is you. It is you, but
I start
also...
disrobing. I'm trying to take this dress off. Don't worry, I've got like 3 different nighties and a corset on underneath this.
True, and bloomers, and like you've got a whole bunch of clothes
I'll be
going on.
fine. So I'm like, I start disrobing and taking
It is
the
still
dress
scandalous.
off.
I
Yeah,
mean, I'm going to
it's
note that you're
awful, I'm
wearing
sure.
more clothes than probably any of us is wearing right now, but it would still be scandalous in context.
So yeah, I'm taking that off, and then I hold the dress
I
out.
told you that you smelled very beautiful, and
No.
sometimes when I talk to ladies,
Oh my God,
it's-
Otto, please, come on. Smell this. Is it this?
Okay. Smell like it's you. Yes, you smell.
No. I don't think it's me. I think it's who they think I am or who they're making me pretend to be. The whole dining room thought I was the Viscount's wife. I know, gag me. It was awful. But they all thought it. They all looked at me and acted like I was. It must be some type of glamour or a spell of some sort that made everybody just assume that I was his wife. But they dressed me in her clothes. So is this it? Smell the dress, Otto.
Okay, I will smell the dress then. Just take a big whiff.
Yeah, the dress smells like jasmine.
Yeah.
Oh.
And also she smells like jasmine.
Well, either you've been wearing this long enough, but you smell like jasmine, and something up there smells of jasmine.
Otto, can I tell you something about the smell?
Ooh, yes. Tell me about the smell.
When was the last time you smelled something really nice, Otto? When was it?
Well, I mean, every now and then, of course, ladies who come into the shop, they wear perfumes, but like something that really was nice, I guess. I mean, of course, when my mother was still around, and that
Was it food?
Yeah, of course. You know, all the food of my home, and I mean, no offense to the food here, and of
Well,
course the land is kind of
pretty bland.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
What was the food? What was it?
A lot of spice and turmeric, rices, and
You know when you smell something delicious like food, the smell tickles your nose, and the smell is real, and it's in the space that you're in? You know how that is? Mm-hmm. This smell, you smell it as if it's real, but it's like it's a ghost. It does not feel to you. It reminds you of when your sister would haunt you. You would see her, but you knew she was not physically there because she was a ghost. This smell, you do not think that anyone else could smell it. You don't think it is physically in this space, but yet you can smell it as if it were an echo or a ghost. This is not perfume on this dress. This is something
like almost like a spiritual residence or
Yes.
something like that? Residue?
Yes. An essence of some
An
sort.
essence. So, Tillie,
Yeah.
this is gonna sound. It's not gonna sound and make sense, but
Has
when
anything tonight?
point taken, but when I thought I saw my sister, you know how like memories, you can sometimes unlock them when you smell things, and it's just something. Oh my goodness.
I'm being
would
very
say
bad
that-
at this like friend opening up thing here. I'm trying.
I know, but I feel like maybe it grasped my mind. It's just so the other world.
Yes.
You smell like the other world.
That's impossible.
You have, it's something about you. You can't. There's always something, an essence, to where you're from, or it clings to you. It clings. There's something just.
But I was born here. I've never been there.
You hear footsteps up there. Two or three.
Is it like, how close is it to the top? Like, would I have to climb far, or could I just like stand up and then knock on the?
It's open. You just have to climb up there and poke your head into the open darkness.
I make a move
top
for it then.
of the ladder.
So unless Otto stops me, I'm gonna try to peek up there.
No, I won't.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah. I'll even stabilize the ladder, I guess.
That's very kind of you. As you take 2, 3, 4 steps up that thing that is half ladder, half staircase. You poke your head up into the darkness? Is that what you want to do?
Well, it's not what I want to do, but it's what Tillie would do. She's insane.
You poke your head up and it is dark. But you see an apartment. This attic has been turned into luxury, but it's dark. It's large. Along the walls, lining the whole thing, sconces, torches, silver. Lining the whole place, there's a settee, a couch. There's clearly what you would imagine is a bed behind like a dressing, what do you call those, like a folding screen. It looks like the perfect place for someone to live. And you see the silhouette of a figure behind the screen in a large hat.
Tapping. What's up there?
I need to ask you a question, Trooper. And
Yes.
I'm just going with my gut.
Please.
Do I recognize anything in this room? Does it spark any memory for me, like Otto just said?
You might have to get inside the attic.
Then I there's someone up here. I think I'm not looking down at Otto. I just say it out loud as if Otto should be able to hear me, and I walk up.
Otto, do you follow?
Yes, of course. I'm not going to leave her by herself.
You both clamber up into this space. You make noise.
Ooh.
And a voice says, "Is that you?" From behind the screen.
I think so. I mean, I'm me, but I don't know if you were expecting me.
And a woman walks from around the screen. And this woman, who I will not describe just yet, looks at Otto and says, "Buttercup? What are you doing here?"
Do my courteous down. I am sorry, you have me mistaken for somebody else, my lady.
And she walks towards you as if she cannot see you at all, Tillie, to see what is happening with Buttercup. And as this woman gets within inches of you, a shiver goes up her spine. And she looks to where you are. And I want to ask you something.
Mm-hmm.
How old are you?
I don't actually rightly know. 20-something. But I never believed it.
Let me ask you another question. What does warmth look like for you?
Reading a book by the fireplace when I was little.
Your mother and your father, Lord and Lady Pinkerton, what did they look like?
My mother had red hair. She was very elegant. Her hair was long and straight, and I was always so envious because mine was curly and unruly. And my father, he had dark hair. He was very, very calm, very quiet, very gentle man. Never loud, never angry.
You look like your father, a little
Yes.
bit. You don't look like your mother. But you look like her.
This woman here.
This woman here, she looks to be exactly your age, but then in a moment when she shivers, as she steps so close to you, and her eyes search out what it was that she felt, she looks to be 200.
Do I know? Do I just know? Do I feel it? I feel like I would just know.
You know. And she's looking for you, and she can't see you.
Mom?
Excuse me. What do you know of Buttercup?
Mom?
Buttercup, who's here?
Mom? Can she not see me? I've waited
You
for this
only
my
see
whole
me.
life. Can she not see me?
Have
You
you
only
brought her
see
to
me?
me? Have you brought her to me?
Who?
Have you brought my daughter to me? She was stolen.
I'm gonna conveniently just like kind of look to the side at what Tillie's doing and seeing if Tillie wants me to even acknowledge.
I'm here. I'm here. Mom, I'm here.
Madam, she is right here.
And she reaches out towards where Otto said you were.
I grab her hand and I put it on me.
You can't.
What?
There is a barrier that keeps you two apart. When you try to touch her hand, it is as if there is glass separating you.
Let me
she
try an
can't see you.
experiment. Could I, because I see this, use my hand, hold one hand, and the other hand.
I will ask you a question.
Ooh.
Please roll. Draw.
Okay, I'm gonna draw.
The skill is mysteries.
Ooh, I do
The
not.
attribute is up to you. you have some choices. Are you approaching this through strength of will, through the presence of your character, through your focus in the environment, through your smarts?
Presence, because it seems like I need to be like I am the physical body, and it looks like if it's like I am focusing on myself being here and in the moment. And
Please
then
draw.
so it's a -3, but I have a presence of 4. It's 1. But if you allow, I could also, I have one more ether.
Please do.
Okay. I'm gonna use up my ether.
I want you use this point of ether, which represents your ability to tap into freedom and the chaos of the other space, to try to bring their hands together. As
I'm just really just
door.
imagining, focusing on just because I experienced that moment of not being able to touch the person that I see or don't see. And so I focus on that physical connection that I felt in the mirror. And that is with a 2 plus a 4 in presence.
that is a 6.
Yep.
That is enough. And you bring the other side of the door, are able to bring their hands together, and you feel her fingers, and they are warm, and you smell jasmine blooming. And she reaches out and she squeezes your hand so tightly, and tears come down her eyes. And she says, I am trapped. And this will end the world. And that is where we're going on break.
Ooh.
I'm sorry, what?
How dare you? I am crying right now. I have to go on break.
know.
I'm gonna be
Yeah.
fine, and then I'm gonna have to come back and be crying again.
I'm yeah. I got my all teared as well. Yeah. Everyone, we're gonna go on a break because some people need to stretch their legs, and by some people I mean everybody in the chat as well, and also need to hydrate. Your mother is trapped, and it will end the world.
Can I just, before we go on break, I need to say one thing. Y'all
Please.
don't, people watching who don't know what it's like to be GM'd by Trooper, it's like he has a door or a window into your mind about what you think about your character or how you feel about your character, but you're not even aware of it. And I feel like a lot of GMs will ask you questions about your character and you're just kind of like, oh, what does that mean? Why are you asking me that? But Trooper, it's just casual, and he'll be like, oh, and how do you feel about Tillie? And I'm like, well, she feels out of place and stranger. Obviously, originally I wasn't envisioning she feels out of place because of, the society that she's growing up in, but Trooper just takes that and then takes that to the next level and then allows you to explore that. And it's just so good. You're just so good. And I love this show, and it's fucking great. And thank you. And that's it. Okay, we can go on break now.
You can go on break, but I will say this.
Oh, God.
You have tomorrow night at midnight. Before then, and I know that's going to happen next session, you need to get the gem, and maybe they'll tell you, maybe you'll find out why. But Kelechi and Nell, these men run, and you're like, okay, everything is fine, right? What, you don't think everything is fine? Weird.
Why would everything be
for
fine?
a man, it probably isn't. I was going to tell them how to
Bloated a
antidote.
man into non-existence.
I mean, he just needs to drink milk. It actually is the antidote, but I don't know about that.
I know that we're not doing the inspiration or whatever at the end of the session yet, but you gave me full body chills when you were like, "Oh, the goggles are for what comes after."
Oh yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah. 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 Somebody has been.
The energy.
I'm really excited when we come back to find out how Nell is going to respond to her memory.
Oh yeah,
that's gonna be interesting.
All the reveals this episode, crazy.
But I will say this: you two, a chill runs down your spine at the exact moment that their hands touch. You don't know why a chill runs down your spine, but it does. And the floor shakes just a little. Something happened with the foundations of this place in that moment. Well, you should all hydrate and stretch your legs, and when we come back, yeah. That's it. That's all I gotta say. That's it. Woo. Stretch your legs, everybody. Whack, will you do me a favor? Will you just say something creepy? Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to Midsummer Mysteries, a Clockwork Dominion novella. I hope you're all enjoying Clockwork Dominion. It's a system that I love. I think it's pretty fabulous. You know, here's the exciting book. And I love, in case you want to know why we draw cards rather than roll dice, because proper Victorian people do not roll dice. They will play cards, but dice is a bit scandalous. So all cards, all the time. We are back. So I promised Murgles that I would give her a present. And I am a GM, a gossip meister, and so I am going to give a present. Hey, Murgles.
Yeah.
Let's draw back the curtain.
Okay.
And come back to the stage with you two, where you were both confronted by clearly heavies, sort of like, you're from that part of London. You knew their accents. You're like, these people from the east side of London, like these are like heavies that for some reason are being employed by the Viscount to make sure that nobody's in this part of the estate. And you had this conflict where you pulled off this skirt to reveal very thieving, novelist sort of pants and
yes.
a prehensile tail that has been grafted onto you. And Kelechi, you pulled out one of your inventions and horrifically poisoned someone. And those two fellows have hobbled off trying to escape. They're off down the hallway somewhere. But in that moment, Nell, that you got to see Kelechi do his work, you remembered, you were brought back to your youth, where you were experimented on in terrible ways by scientists, military scientists. And you remember Kelechi. He was not one of the scientists that worked on you. You never saw him in your lab, but you saw him once in the building talking to the Viscount Bainbridge. And at that memory, we will return as you both have a shiver down your spine and the floor rumbles slightly. And those two men are somewhere down the hallway.
That was odd. I didn't predict there'd be an earthquake. Do you mind if we follow them? I just need to time something. And he pulls out his pocket watch and he just starts walking down the hall, expecting Harrington to follow. Are you coming?
Who are you?
Kelechi Abara.
What do you have to do with Viscount Bainbridge? Do you remember a facility?
Yes. Well, I mean, I've been in too many facilities, so I suppose it depends which one you mean.
You've seen my eyes and you've seen my tail now.
Yes.
Is that kind of handiwork not familiar to you?
I mean, I see many of your folk around, yes, sort of. Why?
I saw you there. When I was a child. You were there. When they cut out my eyes. I was awake.
Interesting.
Interesting. Interesting. Listen, I don't really know what you're here to do. I have a job.
Mm-hmm.
And the lady told me you were important in some way. But frankly, I'm finding a reason to give a flying... What?
Who told you that I was important?
The lady of the house.
I mean...
Bainbridge's new wife.
Tillie?
Well... I can't be really sure. She did look an awful lot like Tillie, but I was pretty confident at the time that it wasn't Tillie, but anyway, it doesn't matter. I don't know why. What are you doing with those notes and that pocket watch? Are you trying to figure out the clockwork again?
I have that more or less figured out. Was hoping to time, I mean, it seems like they're gone, but I was hoping to time how long it takes for that poison to finish.
Finish? As in
Yes.
kill him?
Yes, yes.
You know that they were innocent, yes? Just because they were poor, they were given a job. This is one of the most horrific ways to die I could ever imagine. Why did you do that?
Well, one
How
was
could you do that?
Self-defense. They came at me. I did warn them. Also, I also wanted a chance to test that iteration of the poison. The previous one took about 5 minutes and 33 seconds to kill the subject. I'm hoping this one does it faster.
I wish you a very lovely time at the rest of this party. I'm leaving. And I turn around and I start walking in the opposite direction.
Before you finish turning around, something happens. A couple of things happen. One, let us start. Kelechi. How long do you say it takes for someone to die from that poison, would you say?
The last version of it took about 5 minutes and 36 seconds.
5 minutes, 36 seconds. What's the timing on your clock right now?
Oh, God. I think the bell just went, so it's 6:30, right? About 6:30.
About how long do you have?
I think I should have another, like, maybe 15 minutes, right? Could the church bell
No,
went
I
off?
meant, how long has it been since you poisoned that fellow?
Oh. Probably just under 4 minutes at this point, I think.
Just under 4 minutes? You know what's interesting about Nephilim? Nephilim are the offspring of fallen angels who've fallen. And the thing about Nephilim is that if they look angelic or demonic, sort of depends on their behavior in their life. You know? And there are many ways to, like, the balance between purpose and ether, corruption. I'm going to ask you just a little bit of a question. You are what type of Nephilim exactly?
Let's see if I can pronounce this thing. Zanzamim, I think is how you pronounce that.
And that particular type of Nephilim, when they start falling to corruption, the Zamzamim, they start looking, oh gosh, I suppose a little like eagles in that sort of a way. They sort of start manifesting a little bit like... You start getting features that seem a bit like an eagle. Now, as you take a point of corruption, you know he's dead. Early. Your poison worked just a little bit faster this time than last time. That's interesting. And as you take that point of corruption, your features shift just a little. Just a little. Could you describe what you look like? And it's very subtle, but please describe it for me.
I think his eyes, Iris's pupils become more slit-like, a much brighter gold around the irises, and he seems to have gotten slightly bulkier, so everything he's wearing is not too tight, because I think this is probably like a hand-me-down, so it's not actually his. He doesn't really wear fancy stuff like this usually, but he seems to be filling his clothing a bit more than usual, and also growing maybe an inch or two. And I think I think his horns as well, they're usually like blunted stubs, but they've kind of grown pointed. And as this happens, he kind of like touches the tip and draws blood, and then looks down at his watch. 3 minutes, 23 seconds.
That is what you see as you're about ready to turn away. No.
I'm sorry, what?
3 minutes and 23 seconds. So it's an improvement.
An improvement. An improvement. Yes. Well. Do I know, as this happens, do I have information on Nephilim enough to know this? Or is this, shocking to me?
Reason plus mysteries? A lot of people don't know. There's a lot of rumor about Nephilim, but what people actually know will depend on how good you are with the mysteries, as it were.
Yeah, there's no way.
I'll tell you what. It's kind of creepy.
I have yeah, okay. It's kind of creepy.
You know, you don't know what that means. You don't know what it means that his body's changing a little bit, just getting a little bit pointed, a little. That's yeah, you don't know what that means. Because, look, you don't even believe in the clockwork falling apart. That's ridiculous. Come on.
Yeah.
You still don't, right?
Kelechi, listen, I don't try to be judgmental or anything, but you've changed in the last second since I looked at you, and
it's this thing that happens.
Unnerving.
I'm sorry.
Don't apologize. I'm just confused as to what am I saying? Don't apologize to you. I need to get out of here. I wish you all the best. I don't. Never mind. And I turn around, and now I'm walking away.
She starts walking away from you.
If you do realize that when we kept going in that same direction, we just kept going.
I don't answer. I'm marching forward.
Marching? You're gonna get out of here.
I'm getting out of here. I'm getting out of here.
I would like to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do you intend to break your oath? I ask you as the little wound on the tip of your finger where you pricked it on the thorn of the rose that you gave the lady starts to bleed. And so I ask you, do you intend to break the oath you made to someone very powerful as your finger begins to bleed with each step you take intending to go?
I probably take more steps. I am walking, even though I'm bleeding, but as it's happening, I'm thinking to myself about this oath or this promise that I made.
Or, I mean, you don't live in the weird supernatural world. We'll just call it a contract. I'm sure it's just
Yes,
a
this
contract.
this job that I took, which for some reason is making my hand bleed. But I'm used to pain, so I probably take a few more steps than someone else might. And then I slow down to a stop.
And the bleeding stops.
Miss Harrington, and Kelechi's gonna like kind of be jogging up to catch up with her. Are you okay? You seem to be. You're bleeding.
I don't care. I made a contract. I guess I have to finish the job. Listen, I'm gonna ask something from you. Please don't do that again. You can do it for the rest of time, but just don't do it again while we're here.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry if it disturbed you. That wasn't the intention.
I mean the poison.
Oh yeah, I understand.
I have a
if that
tail.
upset.
I think we can both agree that I'm fine with however creepy either of us want to look, but just please don't kill anybody else like that. So horrific. I'd rather you ask me to stab them in the eye and then kill them quick. That's really how I'm feeling about it.
Oh. I mean, I'll be honest, I didn't think he meant my appearance, but should that be a thing I should be worried about as well?
Well, hopefully no one else notices. Should we?
I am sorry if that disturbed you, the poison. I didn't realize it would.
Kelechi, I have to be honest, I appreciate the apology, but I don't feel like I'm the person you should be apologizing to. Anyway.
Should I be apologizing? Okay.
Let's just see if we can find Tillie and Otto.
Yes, and he's going to pull out his monitor again and switch on Hugin.
And your little beetle, clockwork beetle, whirs to life, and your other little friendly one with the poison downpowers. And your eyes adjust as you look through, and you are in a room. It looks to be, from the shape of the ceiling, an attic space, with the windows blacked out, with silver, probably silver, sconces with torches, like downstairs, actually, like downstairs in the drawing room. Those torches were there as well then. Those are new. Interesting. And you see through the eyes of your friend, your seeker of knowledge, you see Otto. You see Otto's holding the hand of Tillie, and then Otto's holding the other hand of someone who looks like Tillie. And he's putting their hands together. And that is what you see, but you can tell that they are at the top floor of this space.
Miss Harrington, I think we both acknowledge this, but when we kept walking trying to find our friends, we just seem to keep looping. They seem to have walked up more flight of stairs than they should be in this building, right?
Yes. I feel that's a fair assessment.
I'm gonna see if I can look for any sigils or anything, any kind of magic going on that could be happening right now.
Focus mysteries.
Okay, that is great. Focus mysteries. So that's a 4, and then nope, 0 exactly.
You are do you want to spend a point of ether? to redraw.
Okay, I've got a question about this
Yes.
because I'm a Nephilim.
You are.
So my appearance is dependent on the balance of ether and purpose.
That is correct. With the minimum being your corruption, which you get for
Okay.
when you murder people.
So using my
break
ether
oaths.
won't using my ether won't reduce my appearance in it. Okay,
No,
cool.
'cause
Yeah,
that's
I'll do
your
that.
permanent. That is your permanent.
Okay, I'm gonna redraw.
Let's see.
My God. Oh
shit.
my God.
Hey,
You had
podcast
one
audience.
job.
I had
Kelechi.
one job.
Kelechi just pulled the Doom card. That's awesome. I'm going to
Everything
say.
falls apart and you all die.
So, everything's fine. You are trying to see sigils, and as you are sort of looking at the walls, you are distracted a little bit by these wall sconces. Because they're here in the hallway too. These sort of torches in silver sconces. That's strange. Why would you have silver sconces, right? And like you're sort of a little bit distracted by. That's also, you would probably actually have gaslight really in a place like this, or like it's you're sort of like distracted by this, and there are little symbols on these sconces, which you think might be alchemical, perhaps, or magical, mystical. Well, that's just seem like you're sort of getting distracted by, well, certainly by mysteries, not the ones that will get you where you need to go. But you notice, by the way, we're gonna, I need you, by the way, dearest Drac, to draw 2 cards, because one for the Doom card and one for your corruption, and just place them on that mat so I can see what they are.
Okay, so. Oh boy.
Okay. So the lowest number that you drew is a 26 on that -2. Thank you. I'm going to take note of that for all the reasons. I would say for no reason, but actually for all of the reasons. Yeah.
Okay. Should I put that on the green screens for everyone to see?
Yes, please. Let them all see what is going, the things that may be happening real soon. But as you're sort of pondering this, you notice a glow in Nell's pocket. Because you're looking for mysterious things. And you notice a glow in her pocket.
Miss Harrington, is your pocket glowing?
I look down. Is my pocket glowing?
It is, as a matter of fact.
I reach in and I pull out the thing. What is the thing?
It is the book that you agreed to give Tillie. And it has a light glow about it.
It's a book? I have to give it to Tillie.
Assuming it was a lady that asked you to do that as well?
Yes, it's part of the job.
What exactly is the job?
Give this book to Tillie, keep all of you organized, and steal the gem. Might as well tell you since we're now co-conspirators in murder or something of the like.
I'm really sorry about.
I'm sorry, you can't understand him.
What?
You can't understand what he's saying. Actually, you can't understand what she's saying. I'm sorry, can you hear that? It's the sound of the torches. You can hear the crackle of the torch, of the flame, and it is really loud. It is really, really loud. You can hear the sound of your breath, and it is very, very loud. It is getting louder, and whatever's coming out of each other's mouths, it's just all distorted, and it's loud, and it is beginning to hurt your ears. Actually, if you touch your ears at all, you're beginning to bleed from the ears. It is just
odd. I didn't consume the poison, so I don't think that's it.
I'm going to grab his arm and start dragging him away. Like I'm gonna start running.
the book is pulling you if you follow it.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow it, and I'm dragging you along with me, Kelechi.
The sound, the loudness follows you, and every footstep that you make is so loud, and it's just getting louder, and it's getting louder, and it's pounding in your heads. All of the sounds, these sounds, they are threatening to rip your head to pieces. It is so loud. Everything is so loud. It's so loud. And there are whispers, and your heartbeat, and it's like you can feel your nervous system, and you can hear it, and you do not know how much longer you can handle these sounds as you rush, and the book tugs you like a divining rod, and it tugs you to the left, and there's a hallway, and it tugs you to the left, and I assume you follow?
Yes, yeah.
And then it tugs you to go back the way you came. And when you go back the way you came, you're actually in a different spot. And it tugs you again, and it tugs you again, and you can't. I don't even know. It's dizzying. And you find yourself at the staircase leading up to the attic.
How did...
Is it so
How did
loud?
you...
It is getting quieter. But it is... You are so tender, both of you. Your ears are... You can begin to actually make out speech amongst the pounding sounds, but... The sounds of your clothes hurt. The sound of the air moving hurts. It is physically painful. Just the sound of your breathing. It's so loud.
Do I recognize this place as the place I've been
This is the
before?
place.
I'm gonna try and go up the stairs.
And each step is physically painful in your ears as it is just so loud. Kelechi, do you step up as well?
Yes, I think he recognizes this from the image that he's gone
do.
through Hugin, so he's like, I think this is where Tillie is. And he's just kind of like confused, kind of looking at the blood coming through his ears as he's trying to carefully go up the stairs without making too much sound.
Kelechi, this is a Pontus event. This is certainly the Pontus Rising. Sometimes this happens after you kill someone. You know? Sometimes that happens. Maybe. Tillie, Otto, as you are standing there, your hands touching, Nell and Kelechi emerge from below, from the stairwell. And it's weird because you didn't hear them approach. It's as if they made no sound.
I don't think I take my eyes off of my mom, so I probably don't notice the two of them there. What do you mean this is the end of the
muted.
world?
Otto, you're muted.
Sorry. So, I mean, this is... I feel like we would be too focused on this moment. to notice?
I am in excruciating pain and have marched my way here despite my entire body wanting to break down. So at this point, I'm animalistically just waving the book in front of me and stumbling towards you, Tillie. And I'm just going to, like, grab you and try to give you the book. Because I don't know what's happening here, and my ears are bleeding. So
By the way, their ears are bleeding.
Oh,
So
okay.
I assumed that we went up the attic and then she was there behind the screen and then she stepped
came
out.
out,
So
yeah.
like our back is to them.
I would imagine you're probably side to side, right? Like you're facing each other,
okay.
and they've come in to the side.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess
What do you mean
if
it's the end of the world? Oh,
wait, sorry.
no, yeah.
take the
No,
book.
I was gonna say if this might matter to Trooper for things, but if I immediately like break out of the trance and see Nell bleeding from ears, I'm gonna just disconnect and rush to Nell
Yeah.
to see if like everything's okay. I got like napkins.
And I will
I
say,
imagine.
Yeah.
she was very loud when she spoke. Take the book. She may not realize how loud she was speaking, because you don't know what they're hearing, but she's almost shouting.
Yeah, I will, especially if Otto lets go and everything's crazy and loud and she's yelling, take the book, and I see her bleeding from, I just grab it. Like, are you okay? What happened?
So loud. I just collapse on the ground, and I'm just gonna be like rocking in pain, probably.
What's happening? And I look up to Kelechi. You're also bleeding. What's going on?
Okay, could you be a bit quieter, please?
What happened? What happened?
I believe it's a Pontus event. It usually happens when someone is killed. What's happening here?
Who died?
Some man who accosted us.
The volume is slowly being turned down for Nell and Kelechi. It's still louder than you would like, but you can understand things. It's like it's now like when you've been in a dark room and you go out into the sun, and like the way in which that irritates you. It's like that level of irritation and pain. It's no longer overwhelming. It is just now kind of a low throb.
Okay.
I turn and face my mother again. Is this what you meant by the end of things? Did she not hear me anymore?
She's waiting. She looks to Buttercup. What is happening?
Please.
Is this what you meant by the end of the world? That's what your daughter is saying, as I hold on to Nell and try to calm Nell down.
The world is out of sorts. And if it remains so, it will be torn asunder.
How do we fix it?
How do we fix it?
The strife comes from separation. I am in exile. No, I have been kidnapped, is a better way of saying it. And I am here. And this is no good. I should not be here. I have not seen my husband in over 20 years. But since the longest night have I been here in this place, captured stuck here. And without the balance in the courts, there can only be chaos. The 9 men's morasses fill up with mud. The seasons shift and change. And as long as I stay here, the worse it will be. But I cannot leave this place.
How do we get her untrapped?
How do you? Okay, so you're why the clockwork's being messed up.
But how do we
explains
get
why
her
my
out?
calculations
How do we
been
get
off,
her
so-
out? How do we untrap her?
No. Just how do we get you out?
I need things. I am bound here.
The jewel.
Yes.
A jewel.
She hired me to steal the jewel. It's, Bainbridge has it.
What is happening
Yes.
to her? Is she all right?
It's a
It was very
Pontus.
loud.
Like I said, it happens when someone is killed.
Okay.
This is more than that.
Oh?
There will just be more and more Pontus events as long as we are separated.
Interesting. That explains a lot.
The Pontus, the clockwork, all of that is a problem, but it would not be as bad as is right now for the last 6 months since I have been brought here.
We need to
I
steal
am
the jewel.
Dying.
What?
Oh, she's.
I cannot live in this space, and this space cannot live with me here.
He sent you here to kill you?
He sent me here so that he could rule alone and unchallenged. He sent me here because he was jealous. He sent me here so that he had everything. But he does not understand that as long as I stay here, this will all become worse and worse. Until there is no crop. Nothing grows. It is only winter. And everyone here dies.
We can't let that happen.
No. I mean, okay, so we have to get this jewel, right? Get the jewel.
Yes.
What else do we need?
Is that it? Is that the only thing? The jewel?
No. It is not easy to reverse what has been made, as I am bound here. I cannot leave this place as long as I am trapped. But the Viscount is also trapped in this place. Neither one of us may leave. However, the jewel is what he has used to trap me. It is my essence. If the key, my daughter, could take that jewel through the breach to the other side, to the borderlands, she would take me for the borderlands, and I would be able to emerge if the hands, and she looks at Kelechi, can dismantle the locks that keep me here. If you can dismantle the locks, then I can be taken into the borderlands. But only that one, Nell, only you can carry the pendant, my soul, for you are wholly of this place. And so only you is it safe to carry my soul upon you. The only problem is to get the gate to open.
Oh my god, I have to sit down.
My Lord King will not open the gate willingly.
What about Buttercup?
She's the other side of the door. She was his exchange to steal my daughter from me.
I look at Otto like, I'm sorry, but I mean, obviously it's nothing I should be apologizing for, but I can't help it.
So we can get her back if we trade? Tillie.
There must always be an exchange.
Well, that's assuming Tillie wants to go.
Yeah.
Yes,
We have to give her... Okay.
Oh.
I'll do it.
Are you sure, Tillie? This is...
I don't belong here. I've never belonged here. If I can help get my mother home, I'll go with her.
Is there a way that we can get in contact with Buttercup? Maybe she can do something from the other side?
Perhaps, but she, being of his blood... Wait, Buttercup is here.
No, that's Otto.
She looks at Otto. No. That is Buttercup.
The similarities are hard to get past, but no, this is definitely Otto.
I mean, they are twins, but...
You met Buttercup, though.
Yeah.
Higher cheekbones.
Yes, I am sure that the Fae, you know, I am of male descent, obviously.
I see. Curious. Strange. I see you two are the other sides of the door. Interesting. What a strange
Ma'am.
place this world is.
Ma'am, I am Kelechi Abara. And he just walks up to her and just puts out a hand. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Yes, I need you.
I was told that this is how you introduce yourself. Okay.
You can dismantle the locks that keep me here.
I can dismantle most things, yes. Where are the locks?
In the ballroom. That is where I'm
Oh.
tethered. But that's not always why I need you. Kelechi, maker of the obscene, maker of the profane, I need you. You will convince the King of the Fae to open the door between this space and the borderlands.
Wait, I'm sorry. Is she saying that the king trapped her here?
I think so. And she's also implying that I'm the one that needs to talk to him. Ma'am,
Well, you do have a
we
lot of tricks.
just met.
To circle back, my mother is she the queen? What is happening?
No, you don't need to talk to him. You will offend him.
She can't hear me.
Offend? What does that mean?
You plan on participating in my bicycle race, do you not?
Of course, I need to test my steam-powered bike.
Yes. And that steam engine is an offense against all that is natural, and is an offense that he will not let stand. On Midsummer Night, at midnight, as you ride with the door, the only one who can carry my soul, and I assume the key, my daughter. This offense he will rise to, and he will open the arbor to confront you. And you can make your way in and bring me inside.
Interesting.
It sounds like a very good plan, except for the fact that the King of the Fae is confronting us, and then we're just supposed to, what, slip past him? Does nobody else see an issue with this plan?
Yes. I don't understand. After the confrontation happens, I imagine that would not go well. It'd be most likely lethal.
Oh, well.
For most of us, anyway.
Well. I just need the gate opened. And I need Tillie to be kept safe. And I need my soul to be brought back to where it has been taken from.
But what happens to Kelechi and Nell and Otto? What happens to you? Ask her.
What happens? Your daughter asked what happens to us, Otto, Nell, and I.
Oh, well, I'm sure it'll be difficult. I'm sure it'll be somewhat traumatic, or perhaps you can talk your way through things. He's vain.
Talking isn't my forte. I don't really understand people, living things.
Well, I can do it. I can have a conversation, you know?
You just need to get through the arbor. And he will not resist you. What name do you go by in this place? Not Buttercup.
I'm Otto.
Otto. Strange name. I would call you Cobsweb, is what I would call you.
Cobsweb.
Cobsweb.
That is what I would call you. But he would not resist you. You and the profane machines in the Thousand-Year Woods. He will open up the arbor, and he will not be able to see you. Nell Harrington, the Nightingale. He will not sense me upon you. Your strange operations make you difficult to see through. You'll be the camouflage that will bring me through the breach.
All right. So we have to steal the jewel.
Yes, it will be difficult, only you can touch it. Well, anyone who is not touched. Certainly. My daughter cannot touch it. Oh, and Otto? Being of his blood, you cannot touch it either.
Wait.
Kelechi, I do not think you can either, as being as you are.
Wait. What?
Wait.
Did she just say?
His blood?
Yes.
Miss Harrington is the Nightingale?
Yes. I do not understand your customs.
You and I both.
Yes, she's the only one I think who can take it from him. Being hybrid as she is, but not of the borderlands. There will be a rip and a tear, but I need you, inventor, to dismantle the Viscount's cage. I need
We
you.
better hurry then. We don't
Is
have
my-
much time.
daughter well?
She's
Tillie,
very
are you well?
Don't mention the fact that I'm not wearing, just
Yeah, I was going to mention that. Is that
please don't. Please
what
don't.
happened?
Tell her I'm in a beautiful dress. Tell her I'm a lady.
Did something happen?
No,
She
she
said I should tell you that she's currently in a beautiful dress and that she's a lady. I'm not entirely sure why.
All right.
She looks just like you.
Those she was given to have always been servants of me. They are loyal. But I do not like being in this place. It drains me.
We have to hurry.
England will do that to you.
Yes, that is what they call this space. I am Queen Mab.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Queen Mab.
It's a pleasure to meet you of the fallen angel. The hands who will break the pieces that keep me here, and who will so offend King Oberon that he will needs must open the arbored gate at the green gazebo. It will be dangerous. You may die. But fallen angels don't die. I think it shall be fine.
I should be fine. And I look to Nell. I mean, the others might not be, though. Should we be worried? I'm just considering that now. We probably should be worried.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't really understand mortal things. I only understand the large forces. But I do know that everything is out of sorts.
Well, I can dismantle this lock. I assume that's most likely why the Viscount told me not to work on the rest of the ballroom.
I imagine so.
So
I just
the
know
answer
that...
is oh, sorry, Mom.
Did you hear something?
Yeah, your daughter was saying something. And what were you saying, Tillie?
She reaches out where they're looking for you, but she cannot break
I
through.
just put my hand up and I know she can't see me. So the answer is in the ballroom.
That's what it sounds like. At least the locks, at the very least.
We have to get out of here and we have to fix this.
It is guarded, the ballroom, by something powerful. A watcher, Neptune, Poseidon. Something powerful stands atop the ballroom. I cannot go there. I cannot leave. Cobsweb.
Otto.
Otto. You have met your grandfather?
If you mean Oberon, yes.
Yes.
Just recently.
He
I'm
was
so sorry.
fooled.
Grandfather?
I guess. I have no idea. This is... My family doesn't even originate in these lands.
I'm feeling unwell.
Please, can we hurry?
I must say,
Should we?
All right, we will do this. I will go and steal the jewel. I know where it is.
What? Where?
Viscount Bainbridge has it. It's a jewel that is atop his cane. It has a chain on it. He walks with it.
Nightingale,
Yes.
come closer to me.
I step closer.
And she gets 2 inches from your face. I can see you closer now, more clearly. You may not understand the gifts that I can give you when I'm returned to my seat, to my throne, but you will be paid for your job. I know this matters to you greatly. Only you can do this caring of my favor, can keep the beating heart of summer alive and safe and back where it needs to be. We have given favors to families from all lands, from all time. You will get whatever your heart wishes that I may provide, and I may provide much.
Can you give me freedom?
Yes?
True freedom.
Whatever that means for you, there are many things I can give. I do not understand what freedom means for mortals, but I'm sure whatever it is possible for someone of the borderlands.
Imagine being trapped as you are now, but for your whole life, and that's exactly where everyone wants you to be. And that's the only place you're useful. You can never leave, and that's what we call life.
No. That is not what life must be. It can be other things, and I will give you those things if you restore me to my throne. And did you give the book to my daughter?
Yes.
I have it.
I cannot give her things directly. Give her this for me. And she leans forward and puts her cheek against your cheek. And you can feel her cheek rotting lightly, as if she is a plant that is dying. And then she leans back. Give her my love.
I will.
I have been awake too long. It smells so bad here. And she sort of walks with this stately grace, but yet there's a slight wobble in her gait as she sits upon the divan and takes her hat off. And as she takes her hat off, some of her hair falls off with the hat. And she says, "There are no plants in this room."
Would you
I
like
need
a
my
plant?
soul. I don't think it can live in this space. It is loud here and ugly.
Wait, Tillie, do you have like a handkerchief or something?
I just look at you. I'm literally in my bloomers. I'm in my underwear. Do I look like I have a handkerchief? No.
I mean, okay, let me see if there's like a, like you got jewelry on, obviously. I'll just take something small, like a pin or something.
You can like rip the blouse, like take the whatever I'm wearing and rip
I'll just
it.
do,
if you
I
need.
guess, the rip really quick. And while she's sitting on the den, I'll just be like, I understand, and I hand it into her hand. Be well.
It will get worse. Beware. He does not want me to return. And his servants, the Viscount, gains much power as he drains me. He will not want me to leave either.
Well, unfortunately for them, they don't have much choice in the matter, do they?
No.
Well, let's go steal a jewel.
Wait. Dear? Dear? And you hear little footsteps. And a small little girl pokes her head up from the opening. 8 or 9, perhaps? Although she could be 800 or 900, it's unclear. And she's just wearing like a little servant's dress. She goes, "Yes, Mum?" And the woman who is your mother says, "They will need escorting out, or they will get lost in the labyrinth. Whenever they're ready."
Absolutely not. Trooper, I have to ask you a question.
I'm ready for it. I know you had a question. I'm ready.
Is that me? Do I remember this?
Ooh, that's a good question. I need you to pull a card.
Holy shit!
Oh!
Oh
I
my
need you to pull a
god!
card.
I have goosebumps. I just remember one of the first things you asked me was like, what do you remember from when you were 6 or something like that? And I was like, I don't think I remember too much of it. Okay, cool. I'm going to barf now. Holy shit. Oh my god. All right, I'm so sorry. What am I rolling against?
I need
Holy shit.
focus and mysteries.
Focus is 2 and mysteries is 3.
Okay, so that's a 1.
1.
Yeah.
May I ask you a question?
Yes.
What is the one piece of jewelry that you've always had?
Locket.
What does it look like?
It has vines, lots of foresty, I think, nature on it. The question I have for you is the silver here good or bad for us? Because I'm pretty sure it's not good for us, right?
It's not good.
So yeah, it's not
good.
it's not that then.
It is not good.
Yeah, so it's not silver. And
It's fine for Nell, though.
yeah, I think inside
Fine for Kelechi.
was a picture, but it was since removed, so only like little corners of it remain, and that's all I.
I'm sure this is not you. It's weird though that she's wearing.
But
your
she's
locket.
fucking wearing it. Yeah,
She
god
is.
damn it!
She is. And she walks up to Kelechi, and she just takes Kelechi's hand. And she's got a little cap, a little white cap, starched, but black curled hair. And as she takes your hand, you're not quite certain she's completely corporeal. As if she might be an echo. And she says, "I'll take you out?"
Yeah, just give me a moment. And he's gonna go crouch down and pick up Hugin and place him on the other shoulder. So he's got Mead and Hugin on either shoulder as he's led out.
And she waits for everyone. And she says, "I like you."
Well, thank you. I would say, I feel like I should say I like you back, but we just met. My name is Kelechi.
I know. We're very good friends.
Okay.
I trust you.
Okay. Do I know you?
Silly? Of course you do. I'll still take all of your drinks.
But you're 8. Is that okay?
You're so silly.
Kelechi does not
Yeah.
piece it together. It's like, I don't understand.
And she just holds your hand waiting.
I will go to follow her out, but I probably linger behind everybody.
And as you three and this young girl, perhaps, who is there and not there, an echo, a figure, someone not necessarily seen, who has no shadow, leads you down the staircase into one of the floors. She says, I like that you have a tail.
Oh. Thank you. Really?
Excuse me, little one. And I will kneel down to meet her at eye level. I'm wondering, would you be able to tell me your name?
You're beautiful.
What your name?
I like your hair.
Thank you.
I don't know if I'm allowed to tell you,
You probably aren't.
but if you dream really hard, you'll remember.
Can I try to remember my name?
How would you like to try?
I try to remember the fireplace with the book and my mother. Because she said if you dream, so I'm going to try to do that.
Draw a card.
Wouldn't it be
Fate.
cool if it was the fate card? Just throwing it out there.
Let's conjure, manifesting fate.
It's not, but it is a 0.
What is your will and mysteries?
I'm about to kick ass. My will is 4, and my
Interesting.
mysteries is 3.
So that's a 7. Mm-hmm. I see. 7 is a very good number. 7 means that you can overcome a daunting task. Something that is beyond the reach of most people. Something almost impossible. It's the book. The book.
Okay.
The one that you were given?
Uh-huh. No,
I think-
stop.
The answer's in the book.
Is this the book? No, oh my God. Oh my God. Do you care if I just... Okay, I fucking open the book. It's got my name on it, doesn't it? Property of, whatever, like a 6-year-old wrote it. This is the book I was reading by the fireplace. I'm gonna barf. What does it say my name is, Truber?
First off, all of the pages are empty until you touch them. And then, like magic, symbols and figures start to appear as if it is ink spilling across the page. And Tillie. It is a name with a T, but you are Titania. Lost.
Wow.
Cursed to never see your mother. Exchanged for the other side of the door. Otto's sister taken so that you... one could think that what happened is that you were given, but you were stolen. And Otto's sister came home. But Otto was not brought home. Otto was left. Oh, is that your home or is this your home? It's unclear, really. What place is home, what is not. But there is chaos. There is the Pontus. And only someone of reason and science can use order to break the chaos. Only the one who is not of the borderlands, but unseeable by those of the borderlands, can take the soul of the Queen of Summer back where it belongs. Only through the door. But to do that, you need to steal her soul in the iron grip of the man who has terrorized you all, who has orchestrated your downfalls, your suffering. The man who serves the king and who will not give up the queen's soul. And there is a creature that stands atop the underwater ballroom who will not let you destroy the locks that keep the Queen of Summer here. Tomorrow night at midnight is when it happens. Can you get what you need before then? Well, we might just have to wait until next week to find out.
Holy shit, dude! I fucking listen to me. I performed Shakespeare for like 5 years, and I didn't clock that until you said Queen Mab, and I was like, "You bitch!"
Yeah, I know.
Holy shit! So good, so good.
I can tell you something. But, y'all, I want to thank you all for being here so far. We are at the halfway point. They now know what is at stake. They've got to figure out how to get what they need, not die, offend the Fey King enough to get him to open the door to find out what's going on.
Enough, but not too much that he murders us. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if Kelechi is the right person for that, because he just goes all out, you know. I think we learned
I love
that.
how your
what you're
response
talking
was,
about.
talking
What?
isn't my strong suit.
Here's the thing, though. Like Kelechi,
Oh, God.
Queen Mab doesn't exactly understand mortality exactly in the same way as, mortals do. So, like, they both are a little bit, a little bit vague on mortal stuff. They live a long time. So, yeah, I would love if we could have each one of you tell me who you are, where we can find you next, give some love to someone else in the cast, and tell me, well, how are you going to stop the end of the world?
Holy.
And I want to start with the other side of the door.
Oh.
Hey, by the way, if you get to the Borderlands, inside the Borderlands, you know who's there.
Luxie.
Yeah. Buttercup is over there. I'm just saying, if you make your way over there, maybe, I don't know, I have to go and talk to Luxie, but I'm just saying that, I don't know. I mean, but you know what? Maybe we'll just listen to Nell and be like, whatever, we're out of here. We don't need to do this. We're just going to split. And, like, you don't worry about it.
Bye.
But yeah. Bye. Bonsai, who are you? Where can we find you next? Give some love to somebody. And how are you going to stop the end of the world?
Ooh, okay. Hello, everybody. I am Bonsai Baby. I do woodworking here on Twitch. Mostly, like, I'm just making a lot of noise, messing around. Yeah, you can find me just here on Twitch. You also find me Fridays, Gen Con, giving you all the tabletop board game news that you acquire. And I'm gonna go ahead and give some super love to Kelechi, because oh my gosh,
Right?
like the like just the cold
Oh my
like
gosh.
Dexter vibes you get in there. Yep. Just like, oh, let me see what happens if I use this magnifying glass and then record it at the same time while the sun comes up. So yeah, that was
3
just,
minutes and 45 seconds. I've improved it by a minute. Like, whoa!
Just a little bit of corruption. Just a little bit of corruption.
Just a little bit, as a treat.
Corruption just makes Doom cards worse, by the way.
Interesting.
Yeah.
ooh, all the corruptions. And then you know what? I think the way to save the world is for me to come together to a conclusion, I feel like that's gotta be.
That was interestingly worded.
Wasn't it? Interesting.
Yeah.
Weird.
Interesting.
I wonder about
that. Come together. Interesting. Okay. Cool.
It's a great song by the
Other side of
Beatles.
the door.
Cool.
Yeah, cool. Hey, I'm just saying, if you're a changeling, one of your ancestors is Fae. That's all I'm saying. That's what that means. That's what that means. Speaking of ancestors, Kelechi is such an exciting figure, and I have some questions about what happened when Kelechi was 30 years old. But you know what? We will talk about that probably, I don't know, in the forest. It's cool. I wouldn't worry about going into the forest at all. I wouldn't worry about it. I'm sure the forest is going to be really happy to have you all there, and nothing creepy will happen. Whack, I'm going to need some sound effects. Don't worry about it. That's probably going to be episode 5. It's fine. Drac, who are you? Where can we find you next? Give some love to somebody, and then tell me, how are you going to save the world?
Okay, I'm Draconics, or Drac for short. I use he, him pronouns. I don't really stream on my own channel on Twitch, but I stream on a bunch of other channels. On Mondays, you can find me on the D&D channel at 4 p.m. Eastern in a Ungodly Mysteries series. On Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern, you can find me over in Rule of Law. That's Rule of Law, Lore, in a cyber-system campaign called Infinite Horizon. On Saturdays, you can find me here at 2 p.m. Eastern. Every second Sunday of the month, you can hear my voice in an actual play podcast called Super Idols RPG, which is kind of I love it describing it because it blows everyone's mind. It's literally Sailor Moon plus Pop Idols. We have transformation sequences. It's great. I love it.
Love that.
And what I want to give love to Nell, to Murgles, because I just love Nell Harrington in general a lot. I just love the way Kelechi and Harrington now at the very least going to be butting heads quite a bit. I'm looking forward to that. I really love what we've been doing already. And just seeing, I can see both Murgles and Harrington's confusion of like, he just killed someone, but like, he also seems very innocent, doesn't really understand.
I'm sorry that upset you.
Yeah, I felt so guilty scolding you, and I was like, hold on, what is it?
You murdered a man, and I'm feeling bad?
Yeah.
I loved seeing that. It was great.
She did strangle a dude with her prehensile tail in a way
Listen,
that,
That was cool as well.
I let him go.
I did let him go.
how are you going to save the world?
Oh, how I'm gonna say the word. I'll be honest. As Queen Mab was just talking about how the world can't survive with her in it, me and Kelechi made was like, okay, so we just kill her, right? That's what we do, right? So like in Kelechi's mind, if all else fails, we just kill Queen Mab.
But then she still will not be back in the Borderlands, and there will still be imbalance.
Ooh,
And I will kill you.
It's true. That's true.
Well,
Yes.
probably what will happen is I will die lunging at you because you will then kill me, and I have no experience or no combat. But
Yeah, you just can't have her here. It's no good. Like, it's not good for her to not to have those forces not there. Oh, speaking of lunging to kill people. Hey, PB! Who are you? Where can we find you next? What exactly are you video gaming on your home stream? Because I see you video gaming. I was like, I'm going to go and poke in there and see what's going on. Give some love, and then how are you going to save the world?
I'm PB. You can find me on twitch.tv/pumpkinberry. I'm playing through Bloodborne right now. But more importantly, is it Saturday yet? Because I just want to play this game again. I have lots of love to give, so I'm just going to do all three. I'm breaking the rules and I'm giving everybody love. So Kelechi, that moment of the goggles are for what comes after. Like, I got goosebumps, dude. Like, what a line. Holy shit. Okay. So there's that. Mergs, Nell, with that conflict, as you were choking the guy with the tail. First of all, the tail reveal was awesome because I wasn't sure if how that was going to come out or whatever. So revealing you had a tail and then choking and then, Trooper asking like, do you let him go? And that moment of like, yes, I let him go. That was very, very cool. That whole combat scene, I did not want it to change to our scene. I just wanted to watch that play out for the whole time. Bonsai. You thinking outside the box there and grabbing the hand and then being the door. It was very, very, very good. And how are we going to save the world? I am going to hope that everyone around me can be as amazing as they are, because I can't do anything except hope for that and maybe drink or talk my way out of this situation. So that's all I got. I'm just going to cross my fingers and hope maybe I've got magic blood that can help with the situation, but that's pretty much it. I feel very useless and very scared and very dependent on these 3 people to help me save my mother, and yeah.
Only Otto or Buttercup could have done that, by the way.
Yeah, because they're the door, right?
They're the door.
As soon as
they're the door.
As soon as that happened, I was like, it's the door.
Yep. Because they're the door. And only they could have done it. And speaking of the only ones who can do it, first off, each one of you are the only ones who can do a certain thing. But it's fine. I wouldn't worry about it. Not scary at all. Murgles. The Murgles.
Yes.
So, also, die Murgles.
Ja.
Wer bist du? Who are you?
Ja.
Where can we find you next? So, was machst denn du? And, ja. And then, give some love. Ein bisschen Liebe. So ein bisschen Herzen. And then,
ein bisschen? Viel.
Oh, viel ist gut. And then, how are you going to save the world?
Ja. Das
Wie
ist
macht
eine
man
gute
das?
Frage. Ja. Yes, hi, I'm Murgles. I played Nell for y'all today. You can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Murgles. Right now I'm playing Mass Effect, Legendary Edition, and it's the happiest time of my life. I love it so much. And I'm also making a film on my channel, an animated film from scratch. So if you're interested in that, you can come check me out. Love for someone, I have to give love to Peebs, because that scene where she realized that her mother was there, the person that she's been looking for her whole life, and just like the emotion that just right at the surface there, and just, oh my god, it was beautiful. It was like we were all there.
I teared up.
It was made real. It was so good. So yeah. And how will I save the world? How will we save the world? Well, by doing my job is the idea.
Yes! Also, can I just say it's so awkward that I named my dog Viscount Brutus, and now I've discovered the Viscount is my weird stepdad. Like, I don't like him.
He's not really your stepdad at all.
Right? Because they're not actually married. I mean, it's just a thing.
No, he just kidnapped her. Really. So they're not married at all. That's just a lie.
I didn't realize it was he that did it. Okay.
He's involved.
Good. Oh, well, I'm good. We're gonna fuck him up.
Because she's trapped in his estate. That means
what a creep.
Yeah. I mean, he's a creep. Like,
He's a super creep.
she's trapped in his estate, and he's feeding off of her power.
Wait till he meets my tail. I mean, he
he's not gonna-
installed it.
He didn't personally, he just funded
No.
all the creepy experiments on poor children, orphans and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's
Weird.
cool.
Wonder what
It's
that's
cool. Don't worry about it.
Probably fine.
And then, of course, there's Whack. Hey, Whack.
Yes! Holy shit!
Right?
So good. Next level.
Next level Whack.
The whispering and everything. Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
Whack. Whack. And I'm your gossip meister, Trooper SJP. And I'm going to just say you can find me. Where can you find me? You can find me. What is today? Saturday? It is. You can find me. I just love Whack. I'm going to marry Whack, but only Whack's voice in the sky. And it's going to be awesome.
He just like narrates everything that you're
Yeah.
doing. You're
Yeah.
brushing your teeth. You forgot the toothpaste.
Oh my gosh, that'd be the best. This is what I want in my life. This is just so good.
Don't forget the milk.
The milk. But the best part is when you're at work and I'm like, oh, hey, did you like, how was, and like everyone else can hear the creepy voices. That's just what I just want that. Tomorrow from 1 to 5, I'll be over at Roll For It for the last episode of, that I'll be in of The Last Ditch, which is a 40K. But at 8 p.m. tomorrow at Tour Guide Games, I'm in a charity stream for veterans' mental health, and it is all veteran gamers. So when I say veterans, I mean military veterans, not gamers who've been around since back in the day. That's that. And I'm going to give you all a tease before we leave. I think the last episode of our miniseries, I will give you all a present. And the present is the inspiration for the entire miniseries.
Interesting. Okay.
That's it. But I'm not going to tell you what it is now. I'm just giving you the tease.
You're such a tease.
I know I am.
Oh my god.
I am. That's it.
Such a miser.
Oh, I'm the Gossip Meister. So my friends, audience, I'm going to give you love. I want to thank you all for being here. You being here is what makes it all work. Tell your friends about the show so they can catch it on VOD or our podcast, which is at
TV/Midsummer
Mysteries.
Mysteries. Yep. You got it.
Yeah. So you can catch out the podcast if you want. Tell your friends about it. Come and see us, hang out, watch the show. Go to the Discord. We have a Discord with the channel, and drink jasmine tea while you're there. And also talk about your theories about what's going to happen and what the Neptune statue is all about on top
Holy
of the
cow.
lake. Well, I'll just say this. Some people have powers that you've not yet seen, and you might see them next episode. Bye, everybody.
Bye.